All right, so my next review of the day is going to be for the film The Moment. The Moment is a mockumentary there type film there, starring Charli XCX, who is playing herself in it. So it's kind of like this whole kind of concept where it's Charli XCX who's prepping to do like a big concert film, and it's documenting that in it, and it's documented during her time of like Brat Summer, her about to go on tour there. And if people remember, that was like a huge thing last year. Brat Summer, like this is Brat, that is Brat. That was like a big moment, probably the biggest moment in her entire career there. And while she's trying to do this huge prepping for this huge concert tour, it's about her balancing like how do I keep my creative integrity while trying to go like how do I maintain this huge successful moment in my career, and maintain that and create longevity in that aspect there. And then, oh hey, how's it going there, Lucky Dog? What's up, man? I was just in Lucky Dog's chat. Hey, I just want thanks for stopping by. And so yeah, she's like, how do I maintain this popularity and longevity of that in her career there? While she's thinking that to herself. And we just kind of see that. And then the person who's we have a mix of some people who are playing themselves and some people are playing actors. They're in this movie where, for example, you have Alexander Skarsgård, who's the director who comes in there for her like documentary, thing of documenting the whole concert film. And the thing about him is like he's like this very douchey director guy. Like, he's wearing like these super deep V-neck t-shirts. He's wears like a man bun. He has like he's wearing always wearing like beads and necklaces there. And then like when he first introduced, like he's talking to Rosanna Arquette. And the thing about his character is that he's all like, well, it's like there's like he's may has like some charges against him. I don't know exactly. They don't really. I don't remember if they go into detail exactly what the charges are exactly, but he's got maybe some court cases pending against him. But his thing is he represents kind of like that conformity, that kind of corporate interest there of like morphing her into someone she's not, because and that conflicts with the person who's her main person there. Let's see if I can pull up her name there. So she has like a producer or person who is trying to direct her whole concert and the effects of it, who is like, hey, like Charlie says, she's a dance pop electronic music artist. This is what this experience going to one of her concerts is like supposed to be a feeling of like being at the club and doing that. Like this is, and so it's a constant battle between of like what these two people want to do, and Charlie's trying to stuck in the middle. Also there's this whole storyline in it where she's has like this credit card, the Brat credit card there that they want her to promote to her audience there, and we see the fallout from all that. And it's funny, I was just talking to Conan Neutron there from Movie Night Extravaganza. He's been on the show, and we were talking about when we did a review for This Is Spinal Tap, which This Is Spinal Tap is probably one of the most famous mockumentaries of all time there. And when we were reviewing the movie, we were just like, wow, we haven't really seen a whole lot of mockumentaries in a while. Like, we were trying to think back to like current, modern day mockumentaries that we've seen. And the close example we could come to was the Andy Samberg movie Pop Star Never Stop Popping there, or Never Stop. Pop Star Never Stop Never Stopping there. That film, which I thought was really good. I thought they kind of did it. I mean, but that's like a full kind of more of a parody there, I think, than what mockumentary than what Charlie XCX's The Moment is doing. And I think it's more reliant on maybe you already being a fan on Charlie XCX in order to really watch the movie, and maybe kind of be even into it in the first place, because we really don't hear a lot of her music in the movie. That's not really like too much of the main focus of it. We just mainly just kind of go through her life and see kind of what she's dealing with and all the stress of that, of her complaining about the fact that she might be going bald, because she keeps pinning her hair back, Her doing cocaine there in that. And like I said, one of the people that play themselves in it, you have Rachel Sennett, who comes in as her friend in this, who's like a fictionalized version of herself. I thought Rachel Sennett, I always like to see her pop up. I think she's always really great there. So there's some kind of good moments like that. But yeah, so that's kind of the main kind of crux of the movie. Like I said, is just her dealing with all this, the stress of doing this whole big concert tour. The fact that as an artist, like the fact that you just had your biggest moment ever, how do you continue that? And I thought it was decent in that aspect. I think there's some funny moments that happen in the movie for sure. I don't know if you have to be too big of a fan of her music, or not there. I mean, I already knew about Charlie XCX pretty much. I like some of her songs in it. I enjoy some of her music, so it wasn't really too big of a stretch to me to get into this. And I don't really watch her much in a lot of interviews, so I don't know exactly how much her personality is in some of that, in some of her interviews and everything like that. But it was fun to kind of watch her in this kind of context, poke a little fun at herself, and play with herself there, and kind of just do a bunch of kind of things about her image and everything like that. I thought that was pretty good, and I thought that was kind of enjoyable there. Um, when it comes to kind of, like I said, mockumentaries of things like, it's not an out and out, I don't think, straight comedy the way that something like This Is Spinal Tap is, or something like Pop Star is, on that level. So if you're looking for something like that, then I don't think it's going to be on that level there with that. But yeah, so I think for what it is, I think it's somewhat, pretty enjoyable. I mean, I kind of liked it. Um, I liked kind of what was happening in it. I was interested to follow it all the way through there. Um, and to see kind of the decision there. But I mean, really, what is the movie ultimately trying to say there? I think it kind of somewhat, is, I mean, kind of a conventional kind of message there with it. So for me, I would give it I just give it kind of a plain stream it for the moment there. That's kind of about it, really. It's, yeah, like I said, nothing too crazy, nothing too wild there. Like, I maybe if they gone more in a comedic direction or more, I think that would have really benefited it more. If they did a little bit more of that, I think it would have kind of done better. But yeah, so just kind of little lukewarm on it with the film there. So I just kind of give it a plain stream it for me there with it. So that was my thoughts there on the moment. Mm, yeah. Alexander Skarsgård's good in. He's pretty good in as the asshole kind of director guy. I thought he really worked very well there. I thought he was pretty good. And there's some fun versions of people playing themselves. Like I said, Rachel Sennett, Kylie Jenner, she shows up for a bit, a one scene. That's kind of a good, kind of funny bit for a moment. Some of the stuff with the brat card and all that. I mean, capitalism trying to, kind of market the whole brat thing. I thought that was kind of interesting aspect of that. And just overall, just artist integrity, I thought was, it's always kind of a little bit of a fun conversation. But yeah, just stream it for me for the moment.